Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Lights Out League Racing, Race 6, and we are here at the home of British Motorsport, Silverstone. 5.8 kilometres, 18 corners, 10 to the right, 8 to the left, 2 DRS zones, one on the Wellington Straight and one on the Hanger Straight. Very great opportunities, and yeah, we're in the final race of the season, our little mini season of season 23, and it's a shootout for both drivers, championships, and constructors. We've got Portuguese, Adamaco and Amadi, all in with a chance of winning the drivers, and then their respective teams of Aston Martin, Mercedes, and Ferrari. So it should be an exciting one for tonight. Unfortunately, we've currently only got the 12 drivers. Life gets in the way of a bit of football tonight and some absolute knobheads. But we go on. We'll finish the season strong. And don't want the best one tyre. And we'll see what this race drops for us. So, like I said, home of British Motorsport. Don't know how many people know about Silverstone. If you've never been, it is highly recommended, even if it's not for an F1 race. It's home of British Motorsport. I've been down a couple of times latest for the British touring cars, and it's such a just iconic track. It encompasses a series of many challenging corners, tight bends, and some not really fast, flat out corners, and it's gonna push these drivers to the limits. Some iconic corners here, as you're just seeing Saget going round cops there. New home of the Aston Martin team HQ. You didn't know. So they've got a good little testing track to work on. But like I said, there's a bit of challenge, a bit of a fight on the finish here. We've got Portuguese Beast on 135 points and Amadi on 131, Adamaco on 110. As we'll flick on to Saget to watch a lap as he starts going over the start-finish line on the aptly named Hamilton Straight on the start-finish as we start out going round turn 1 of Abbey. Keep tight on the left as we flick on to turn 3. Inside on the slowest corner of the track of Loop, opening out onto Aintree and onto the first DRS zone on the Wellington Straight, and so there'll be a few overtaking opportunities here. You're going to keep as far right as you can as you whip round on Brooklands, all the way around, and then we quick flick on the right of Tullerfield, opening out onto Woodcote, and here, and then onto the old pit straight. The national pitch is still in use for many other different competitions, and then this is the legendary cop. You can go flat out depending on your setup, but sometimes you'll have to let off as we're flicking around the iconic Maggots and Beckett. Such a fun section of the track when you hook that up as you come out onto Chapel, open up the DRS down the Hanger Straight. Again, some critical overtakes will be happening here. Looks like it tugs it inside, keeps a time on Stoke, and then the final chicane of Club as he comes over the line with a 1:27.7. Great time there. So let's have a look who else we've got. Like I say, we've got Portuguese Beast, who's the current championship leader. He's just on a lap. Let's flip to going over as Amadi, the title contender, 25.4. Now, what did I have in my notes that would be the fastest lap? Again, I think my notes are wrong. I had as a high 25s as potential pole position, but it could be a whole second fastest, and Jack's going wide there, but has a time of 27.3. I think he's probably giving way, but Adam Mako jumping in with 25.8, 4/10 off the lead, but we'll jump in on Portuguese to see how he fares. Just coming through Magnet Beckett down the hanger straight. We'll see what his time will come out as. Yeah, him and Big Racky have been doing bits this season. They are currently top of the standings with 181 points. Ferrari 7 points behind and 174, so it's all to play for. And then Mercedes another 20 points behind that on 154 as Portuguese comes in on currently P3 and a 25.8. So, and missed out on Oxox there with a great time. It's currently in provisional P2, 25.5. And it's just Dan who's on his out lap now. So times are spread over a couple of seconds currently, but I think there'll be plenty to pay for later on in qualifying. So yeah, should we go for a bit of history? Everyone like we'd going with a bit of thing of fun facts, weren't we, throughout the season? So it's well known that Silverstone used to be an RAF airfield where the pilots used to train for night bombing during World War II. But at the end of World War II, it becomes surplus to requirements. So, the first official, well, unofficial motorsport action were some local enthusiasts that were racing around the runways, and funnily enough hit a sheep, which caught the news, which lent to what's the nicknames of the mutton GPs. Well, hit a sheep, can you imagine that? A sheep would be red mist, wouldn't it? At least you get a free willy jumper. But we actually had the first GP in 1948, and then was the first venue for the F World Championship in 1950. Attended by our late Queen, and it's currently the only race that's been attended by a reigning monarch. Anyone here a royalist? Anyone here a royalist? Wrong channel, wrong channel. I'll see Dan come in the line, see what his time is. He's set in and comes over the line. Currently P8 with a 126.6, so still has plenty of time to find, setting himself a bank lap. But he was finding project ties half a second over his time. Everyone's in currently on a lap, but we do have Katamise just ahead of Amadi. No, who's that? It is Saigate behind him on an outlap too, but we'll stick with Katamise. Are you happy with the P7? I think he's got plenty of time to find. And the unfortunate incident last week of in first place after the safety car while we're in Japan, and had a little shunt behind by Portuguese, and his eyes on the prize unfortunately went out the window. But you never know what will turn up in the books. We've got a dry session here in qualifying currently, but you never know, might see some rain, and UK is known for its rain. I know this because I live there. But we'll just look at him, he's round. He's on Rabby there. He's just from the inside. And then we'll flick. Turn 3, turn 4. Yeah. But the track itself has had many changes throughout the year. Throughout the years. And the biggest significant change in Silverstone's history was from the 1973 GP. At the end of the first lap, a young Jody Shecklet? Can't say his name because my notes are really messy. But he lost his McLaren Woodcote, hitting the pit wall, which caused a massive pile-up of most of the fields, and it exposed a lot of the debris flying into the crowd. So there many changes had to happen. Firstly, the addition of the chicane at Woodcote just before Woodcote, and then it still didn't slow the drivers down, and Katamise has lost it. So So we'll flick round on side gate and see how he's getting on. I lost it coming out Magnussen Beckett. Rookie move from Academy's own side gate's gone straight in the pits. He's invalidated. We've got the Red Bull of AJ, who's just starting his lap, so we'll follow him later on. But we'll stick with Ahmed D. Follow him round and see where he comes up on the end of Sector 2, which is just out the exit of Magnussen Beckett. He's just flicked through cups. Such a fun corner, that one, if you can go full pout round. I think my current setup is it allows me to, but he's 10th down on his time. Still currently on provisional. He has actually invalidated. He won't be happy about that. If we got, is it Ox? No. Is it Jax? No, Project Tie just going a line, and he's somehow 7/10 up after the first couple of corners. Was he slow to start with? Who knows? We've got a Mercedes coming over the line now, which is Adamaco, who comes in up to P3 with the 25.5, just behind Ox, who's just starting his lap now. We'll stay with him. So there's many changes that happened because these drivers just did not slow down, and they had to. It's one of the fastest tracks on the calendar, so they tightened the chicane at the end, tightened Stowe, adjusted left field. And this is what we have the track today. So, with an unofficial mascot of a hare. Let's see. I hope we see no hares. We don't want any mitigating factors happening during this race. Ox just coming around to Magnussen Beckett's now, which you take full advantage of this if you're on manual gears. I lose so much time. I'm still on automatic gears, and it's taking the fastest sector 2 there. I struggle to get maximum potential out of the corner, and he's invalidated. Invalidated Carelsto. What a rookie! He'd be kicking himself as well. He was faster there. So we're following. Adam is going in the pits. Portuguese. Got a note from Lord Dave, who's predicting an Adamaco win. Would absolutely love to see Adamaco. He's been bridesmaid, not the bride, all this season. He's been consistent. Stayed with the front runners and is in a mathematical contention for the race win. But as you see, Portuguese has just taken provisional pole with 25.2. So sneaked ahead, but there was invalidations from Amadi and Ox, who could have potentially taken time quickly on Casamigos and see if he can had a little spin on his last lap. We'll see if he can make up any time on his current one as he DRS. Comes at the end of sector 1, and we'll just have a look and see what his time is, and he's just slightly up, just under a 10th, so still ahead, but a bit of time to find. Sixth. Oh, geez, he's got a bit of a gap between him and AJ. Needs to find another 6/10. The time is there, but can we find it? That is Portuguese having a bit of a moment in Magnussen Beckett's. It's his in lap, he's allowed. Cat flicking it round. Staying on the track. Opens his DRS. He has lost time. Will he find any time in the last few corners? Will he try and make up time? Only he'll know. And a little flick goes off, and he's going to go in the pits. Pushing the limits. Unfortunately, he's not going up on his time there. Cygate out on a hot lap here. He's 2/10 up on his time, which will keep him in P11, but there's still plenty of lap to go. Can he hook up Magamackets to... looks like he's flying around there, pushing the limits, and is on the track still, and is now 6/10 up, which would jump him up a few places. Has he got any more time to find in the final few corners? He's still on the track. Coming round Club. Last corner. And jumps up to P9. Great lap from Cygate. And he'll want to get as high up as he can with Amadita to try and nick that Ferrari P1 and Constructors off of Portuguese and Raki, who's just behind him. He's been a great addition to our racing lineup this season. Competing every race. I think he's finished every race as well, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, fantastic driving from Cygate. Love to see him on the grid. As we've got 2 minutes, so potentially this is going to be the last laps of all drivers. Big Raki currently in P10, who's going to want to finish as high up as possible to claim those constructors. Coming around onto Wellington Straight, trying to grab some toe off the Mercedes and the Haas. 2.5 tenths up, which would nick him ahead of Cygate currently. But he's going to want to keep it in between the lines. Flaky round cups. Let off slightly. I don't know what his setup is. It's a medium downforce setup because you want to go fast down these straights, but you've got to navigate those corners. And he's now almost 4.5 tenths up. He could jump ahead of Dan Morris at this rate. Katami's at this rate. If he keeps on the track, navigates that corner well. So he's coming round the end, round Vale in Club. And crosses the line. Going up to P7. Great finish to 26.4. And he's put the marker down. For some of the other drivers, I think one or two are coming over. Let's see, Headwax has just started. AJ's just coming. And Dan Morris is behind. So yeah, we'll follow AJ, who's gone off and invalidated. He'll be kicking himself, but he's not going to get any higher now than P6. So we'll jump on with Dan, who's currently in P9. He'll be looking for some time himself. He's 2 tenths up, which will jump him potentially again back up against Big Raki. But will he have plenty of time to find in the last sector? He could potentially jump up ahead of AJ Oweska if he's not maximised this last sector, as he's coming along the last few corners. And Dan jumps up to P7, 26.2, and I think, yeah, he found a little bit of time there. So I think next is Katami's, is it? No, it's Wesker. Wesker as he's coming up the hanger straight now. Navigating that corner well, named the hanger straight because, funnily enough, that's where the hangers used to be on the airfield. Comes around the last few corners. Will he jump up ahead of Adam Mako and stays P5 currently? Great lap. As Big Raki's the next one who jumped straight in the pits. I'm not going to bet him. Katamis has gone off after invalidating. He won't be happy with that. As we got next, we got a Mercedes. Is it Dan? No, it's Adam Mako. Adam Mako's going to be looking. He's going to be eyeing for that pole position. Has he got enough? Has he got enough to cross the line from P4? Jumps up to P2. Great lap. He's currently on the first row. And Oxox is invalidated as Project Ties in the pits. Jax finishes at highest of P10. Portuguese is the next one, who's currently on P1. The only other person to challenge him is Ox, but I think he'd gone in the pits, did he? Or is he? No, I think he's going round, but Portuguese doesn't better his lap. He's on a 25.2. Ox is in the pits. So that's it. That's our lineup for the race. Portuguese takes his place on the front of the grid with Adamako behind. It's all to play for. I don't know if there's rain. Will somebody tell me in the chat, live chat, if there's rain in the race? Let's spice this up, but let's go with our grid. And the top three, not in that order, but the top three who are competing are in the top three on the grid, with Portuguese on the top with Adamako only three hundredths behind. And then Ferrari, look at all those three, all within a second. Amadi in P3, Ox in P4, and Wesker P5. AJ and in P6, and Dan Morrison, Big Raki on the 4th row, and Katamis and Jax on the 5th. And then rounding up the final 2 spots is Cygate and Project Tie. Some fantastic laps there, but like I said, there's plenty to play for, and it's a sunny one again. It's a sunny one. It's the UK. It's never this sunny at this time of year. What's going on? I want to see some rain. Someone tell me if there's some rain. Go in the live chat. Tell me some rain. I want to see some rain. But anyway, yes, all to play for. Let's get ready for this grid. Everyone will be setting up their setups. The ones at the front to be trembling like a virgin on the wedding night. They'll be anxious. They'll be nervous. The championship is up for grabs. And come on, let's get this loaded. Let's get this going. Come on. Put in your chat who you reckon's going to win. Whoever's watching. I saw there was 5 people. Get typing. And here we go. As the lights are out. And we're away. Portuguese is at the front. Adamako stay behind him. All going through well, but AJ is gone. AJ is gone. And so's Big Raki. There must have been contact. I think they're trying to go so wide through. Amadi managing to jump Adamako, just forcing him a little wide, but Ox is out taking the opportunity, overtaking Adamako as well. They're going to be trying to use that slipstream. They don't want to fight too much to give Portuguese too much of an advantage. Adamako has dropped those 2 places, unfortunately. He wanted to get those places back as Dan Morris is trying to look on the outside of Wesker. But still just slotting behind. Let's have a jump back on these tyres then. And the strategy is, I think the best strategy is hard to medium, for some are looking to do the alternative, maybe even trying to eke out onto the softs. It is a hard wearing track, but just the 4 drivers looking for that hard strategy. But it's all settled down a bit after those first few corners, with Portuguese half a second ahead of Amadi. Those 2 will be fighting for that competition. Dan looking to overtake looking to overtake Wesker, but Wesker closing the door. Jack's on a great overtake on Katamis. Katamis diving in. He must have some damage. Either that or just looking to do a tyre change, maybe soft to hards. But yeah, strange strategy. AJ staying on, so he hasn't got any damage. Big Raki carrying on, hasn't got any damage, so it is Katamis. See if he does have that damage before we jump back in. But Amadi has closed behind, and yeah, he's switching that wing, going onto the hard. So Portuguese with Amadi now close up behind, taking advantage of the slipstream. They're going to want to stay close together, and Ox is going to stay close to him, and Adamako is going to want to stay close to him. They're all still within DRS. Dan Morris has dropped Jax now once DRS is activated on the next lap. So we do have a 6-horse race currently for the win. And there will be those overtaking opportunities when the DRS is open. They're going to want to stay together, especially those hard runners. And Adamako will be eyeing. Dave is rooting for you. And I reckon our sponsor Seb will be rooting for you too. But you've got some overtaking to do also. Mercedes looking strong here for potential constructors win. Cygate and Big Racky have got some work to do to help with the competition. But the Portuguese staying strong. He's going to be a sitting duck when DRS opens. They're going to want to use an Oxox is pushing hard. Currently fastest lap. He is a strong contender. Unfortunately crashed down the penultimate lap last race. He was in for a fight for a win. And then threw his toys out the pram. Oxox setting Armady setting himself up here for an overtake potentially. Or is he going to bide his time and stay in his behind his gearbox? There's plenty of time to go, so you don't want to dirty your tyres staying in the dirty air. Everyone's staying single file currently. Jax has now caught up with Dan and in that train, so he's potentially in the fight for a win too. Any one of these 7 can win. So they've dropped Cygate, those 2 seconds behind, who does have Project Ty behind AJ. It'll be a lonely race, but he'll catch up. I'm hoping for that safety car. Big Racky, 2.5 seconds. Project Ty with a 3-second penalty already, and Cygate too. It's a bit early on. You're cutting the corner. I've just witnessed you there cutting those corners during Maggins and Beckett's. You don't want to be doing that too often. Katami's, hoping for that safety car too. And Armady taking the overtake on the hanger straight, making an early move. Project Ty doing the same on Cygate. Some great overtaking opportunities. We're going to be seeing some to and fro, and especially some battling. It's going to be some close racing. Cygate overtaking again on Project Ty, but I think he's let him go. There might have been a little contact. Cygate's let him go. It's great sportsmanship there, but we'll go back with the front. But Wesker just potentially getting dropped from Adamaka. You're going to want to stay within DRS, which he does this time. Will Jack stay in there as well? Oxox close up behind Portuguese. Is he looking for a move yet? No. Maybe on the next straight. And Wesker has been dropped by Adamako now. Dan Morris will be fuming. He want to stay with those front runners. But has been dropped, so he's going to want to take Wesker. Wesker's going to have nothing to fight with. So we've now have a 4-car train fighting for that lead. Adamako at the back. We're all rooting for Adamako. He is the underdog now in the front 3 for the championship. These two are going strong. There is currently 4 points in it for the championship lead. So Armady will take the championship in this position. Portuguese will want none of that. So stay in formation as we come round to start lap 5. Wesker is slowly dropping. Dan Maris right up in his gearbox. He's staying with him. He's not going to want to be dropped. I know we lost. That's Big Racky. Had a bit of a spin on Stowe. You're not going to want to do that often unless the safety car comes out. Yes. There, Adamako. Smelling the fumes. Will he take Oxox? Oxox will have advantage of DRS, but Adamako, is he close enough? He's having a look, but not quite this time, buddy. Still in formation. Who's using up their ERS here? Everyone. Armady is pumping it. He's trying to stay in that lead. There's plenty of time to go. He's probably best reserving it, allowing an overtake, and just keep swapping positions. You don't want to waste it because you'll have nothing to fight with the rest of the race. We've lost Big Racky again. Had a little bit of a spin coming round Brooklands. It's a bit of a tricky one if you do take that curb, but it's Adamako tied up again. And Dan Morris does take Wesker this time. Coming down the hanger straight. Great overtake. He'll be happy to get past and not get held up too much. Has he got enough speed in him to get back up behind his teammate and add onto that train? Oxox slightly being dropped. Amadi and Portuguese pushing slightly. I think both using their ERS. Amadi is using it and Portuguese is noticing that. Oxox is being forced to use it too, but Adamako is wise. He's got there plenty in his bank to use later in the race. Dan Morris still 2.5. We'll keep an eye on that to see if he can catch up, but it is a tight one. AJ caught up now with Cygate and Project Ty, so he's going to want to dispatch these two quite sharpish. Will he get him on this on the Wellington? Named after the Wellington Bombers. Not quite now, but he's going to have plenty of opportunities to go yet. Still quite close together. Big Raki and Kasumi still waiting, hoping for that safety car. Same with AJ too. But will it come? I don't think so. We've got some great drivers on the grid today. Yeah, like I said earlier, unfortunately, one or two drivers got other commitments or prioritised football. I'm going to give them the Italian hand gesture, and here's an opportunity for AJ now. I don't think Cygate's going to make it too easy. But AJ looking on the outside. Cygate pumping. He has no ERS to fight with. So will AJ looking on the outside. Will he take him now? Will he be a later break? No. Keeping it wise. Keeping it wise. Keeping it wise. But there's plenty of opportunity. He's going to wait now, I think, to the Wellington. Project Ty has low ERS too. AJ's got plenty to fight with. Front four still in formation. Still within half a second of each other. Have dropped Dan Morris, so Dan Morris still be. I think he'll be a lonely figure if he'd managed to drop Wesker as well. Wesker is on a different strategy. Oh, gee, a little bit off there. He'll be fuming, so hasn't got the overtake quite yet. Cygate not managing to make that overtake on Project Ty, so great driving from Project, who's we have to thank for filling in with us with one of our reserves, along with Jax. Jack's a lonely figure as well, on his own, 3 seconds behind and 4.5 seconds in front. So he'll unfortunately have a bit of a lonely race, but he'll get. I suppose he'll be hoping for a safety car to have a bit of battling later on. So I'd say looking good for Roxox and Adam at the moment. Mostly Adam, because they are on the hard tyres at the moment, sticking with the front two, who are managed to retain some of their ERS. I think they tried to make a break for it and it didn't work out, but we'll have to go on the hards later with Oxox and Adam either going for a medium or soft strategy. I'd probably say if there's no safety car, go on mediums, but it depends again on your strategies. Oh, I want to see some rain. Come on, let's see some rain. Let's see some rain. The UK's known for its rain. The why isn't it? It's raining now. Like, it's literally raining now outside. It's wetter than Stevie Wonder's toilet seat. Why can't it rain on here? It's UK. Come on, let's be realistic. We've got realistic settings. Anyway, back to racing. Let's stick with what we've got. Let's be grateful for some sunshine. Front four still pulling away. 4.5 seconds behind Dan. He's got Wesker for company. Wesker's sniffing those fumes. Is he diesel or is he petrol? Come on, tell me, Wesker. Right, let me tell you, everybody, Wesker's a little rat. 45 minutes before the race. Oh, I can't race because my rat is the owner teams. Just as we see AJ overtake, great overtake just before Madigan and Beckett's. It means he's going to be vulnerable, and Wesker does take Dan down the hanger straight. Dan won't be having any of that. And Amadi, what's happened to Amadi? He's gone in the pits early. After lap 8, he hasn't got any damage, has he? Surely. There's nothing to hit, and he was in front. Is he making early moves? What strategy is he doing? Armady, let's see, is he jumping on the hards? Potentially hoping for a safety car? That won't do him, that won't matter anyway, because everyone else will take advantage. Strange. What was that? I'd be interested to speak to him after to see what his strategy is. Dropping down to 10th. You don't want to be pitting unnecessarily. If you include the run time, that's a long pit lane. It's almost 37 seconds. You don't want to be going there unnecessarily. But Katami's pushing hard, get that penalty. But interesting. Let's see what happens there. So Portuguese is now in the lead. Is he going to want to try and pull away from Oxox Adamaco now? He's going to find it hard because he doesn't have that DRS advantage with IMD jumping in the pits. Oxox, stay within those. You're known for getting your penalties. Oscar and Dan fighting well. Just making the move on Margaret and Beckett's, but he won't have DRS, and Dan can fight back and make an overtake. Slipping on the inside, and that's great battling from those two. AJ taking Project Tie down the hanger straight too. Again, AJ now on a charge. Right, he managed to catch up with Jax. Jax must have had a wobble somewhere. Yeah, Oxox, you're known for your penalties. Stay on the track, mate. You want to be in contention for that podium later. I want you to be in contention for that podium. You've had one or two penalty issues. And who've we lost? And who's that? It's not Cygate, is it? We've lost Cygate. He's had a bit of a spin coming around the last final corners. I thought it was IRD then. Whew! He did that before. But he's got his teammate behind. Will Cygate let him pass? I think he's a lap behind any. No, it's for contention. Cygate's just gone way off the track to let him pass. There's letting him pass and there's letting him pass. Don't. Oh, you can't do that. We'll give you a bit of advice going into next season, Cygate. You've got to go back on where you came off. You can't cut the corners, otherwise it gives you massive penalties. So Oxox is, he's now almost a second behind. He's not going to want to stay behind. Has he got DRS? He's out of that zone. Oh, no, he's got it. No, he doesn't. He's used. Yes, he is. He does. I'm blind. Wesker overtaking Dan. Has there been a collision there? Or has Dan spun off? We'll find out after the race. Wesker, you little rat. And Jax and AJ capitalising. They'll be happy to be battling. As I think Dan will too. It'll be a great battle between these three. Jax just taking over ahead of AJ. Coming into the final corner, Dan's gone into the pits. Has he had any damage, or is he thinking, I'm going to capitalise on pitting now and jumping onto the hards, trying to do an undercut? Oxox has managed to stay with Portuguese. They're all within a second. Cygate. Italian hand gesture, speeding in the pit lane. There's no, he's going onto the hard, so it is a tactical, trying to do an undercut from Dan. Going to jump in onto the hard, seeing if he can do the rest of the race. Cygate taking a time penalty for jumping the corner. So yeah, we've got the top three still. Portuguese, Oxox, Nanamaco, Armadi looking to try and do that undercut. Will his tyres last to the end of the race? He's what's he got? Potentially 17 laps to do on those tyres, and the rest will have fresher tyres later on if he does come out ahead. He does have some clean air with his teammate letting him pass. But Oxox and Adamaco still staying with Portuguese. Portuguese jumping in the pits. He's jumping in the pits. He's going to be jumping on those hards. He's not going to want to see Armadi taking too much advantage on the undercut, but he will have 2 lap fresher tyres. He will be jumping on those hard tyres, unless he's going to do a crazy strategy. Will we see something crazy on the final race of season 23? Nah, he's eyeing that win. He's on the hards. But now we have Oxox, new leader of the race, with Adamaco for company. Portuguese coming currently. Will he drop behind Armadi? He does drop behind Armadi. And Amadi, who's coming round on turn 3, and Jax has got the tap penalty. Coming up to Wellington Straight, and he's got a 4.5 seconds advantage over Portuguese. 3 laps fresher tyres, but is that enough? Is that enough to be able to catch up? They're both quick drivers, but Amadi will have stars in his eyes here. But these two are in contention. They'll probably do another couple of laps, three laps maybe. I think if you're probably looking at lapping. And Adam Acker now taking the lead of the race. Ox battling hard. They're side by side. They're not going to want to take each other out. Nice clean racing. Ox on the inside. They're bumping tyres, but they're both away. Adam Acker ahead. Still within DRS. Adam Acker having a little bit of wiggle. Having a little bit of a wiggle. Whether he was happy with that or was an apology. Project Ty going flying off the track. What are you doing, man? He's jumping in the pits. And he's speeding through that grass. It may be dry there, but the grass is wet. It's been sprinkled. And Portuguese dropped some time. He's now almost 5 seconds behind. But those two battling hard. Near enough clean racing. They weren't going to let each other go. They know that a win is in contention. They don't want to let each other win. But Adamako, Dave is rooting for you, like I said, and I'm going to root for you as well. We want to see a new winner of the season. We want to see the underdog win. As Katamis jumps ahead of Project Ty, he will have to pit again. Dan Morris jumps ahead too while Ty is in, just coming out of the pits now. Will be kicking himself about that penalty. Italian hand gesture for speeding in the pit lane. Big Racky jumps and soft, so he's going to want a little bit of probably might want to do a fastest lap. Get a little extra point there, a cheeky point. But Adamako still jumping in the pits. He's jumping in the pits, trying to do an undercut on Ox. He's caught Ox by surprise. And he will be jumping on those mediums. He jumped a little early. I'd probably hold out until maybe lap 14, depending on your tyre wear. Ox is going the length. This is going to be interesting. They've all pit at different times. Got Wesker in P2 on the hards, who will be potentially pitting in another lap's time too. He'll be in the battle with Jax and Adamako dropping behind. He's just coming out of the pits now. Portuguese coming round turns 1 and 2. With Adamako just coming out, he's probably got about 4 seconds. But he is on the medium tyres. Portuguese has gained a second on Amadi. That time is closing. Amadi just grabbing some DRS, but he is in the battle. This is for position, so they're not going to let him past. This is going to bring other drivers into contention. This is not what he wanted. He's got AJ ahead of him. He's going to want to dispatch him quickly, but AJ is not going to let him do that as he stays in front ahead of Maggots and Beckett's. Is Amagi? He's not a Gee, he's a D, but AJ still stays in front. This is great battling. AJ is going to be trying to, I wouldn't say he's going to be helping his friend Adamako, but he's not going to be letting Amadi go. But Amadi will be able to get past here. AJ will not be able to fight that. He's not going to want to waste his, no, he's not his overall battle, but he's got Jax up right behind him. But Adamako will be high-fiving him in the chat. Portuguese is now, as Ox is in the pit. He has not sped in the pit lane. I repeat, he has not sped in the pit lane. And he will be absolutely chuffed with that. He will have the best tyres as Amadi goes past. So has he left it too long? But he will be on the medium tyres come later in the race. As Joe Wesker is now in the lead of the race. We never thought we'd ever hear her say that, because he's not very good, is he, everybody? Pesky Wesker. But Amadi now, he is 2.6 seconds away from Portuguese, who's managed to close and dispatch AJ, who's gone in the pits. Jax has gone in the pits. So, and there is these gaps now, which have appeared, but they will close down, I am sure, as we have 11 laps left of the race. So, yeah, Wesker's in front, but like I say, yeah, it doesn't matter with him, but he'll probably pit this lap if he's got any sense about him, or unless his tyres are good, he does not jump in the pits. He's going to go as long as he can, hoping for a safety car. He's going to do Academies of Brazil. So, so Armady is in the real pole position. Now less than 2 seconds ahead of Portuguese Beast. He's going to be putting his foot down. They're both burning their ERS. Adamaco taking the current fastest lap, still with plenty of the ERS in his tank on the medium tyres. 3.3 seconds behind Portuguese Beast. We've got Dan who's just jumping Catamise, coming round Stowe. Great overtake, but they have both used their ARS. They've got nothing left to battle with apart from pure skill and the DRS zones. As Project Ty overtakes Catamise. Catamise has spun again. He's going to be absolutely fuming. He just can't keep it on the track. Someone's put an oil slick down. Some catnips distracted him. Portuguese, he's got his foot down now. He's got his foot down. There's three. Is he burning his tyres too much? Amity trying to get some temperature in those tyres, having a bit of a wiggle. Either that or he's saying hello to Portuguese, but they're going to be having a battle. Portuguese is now within DRS. What has happened with Amity? But Portuguese is there. What's Amity doing? He's having a bit of a wiggle there. What's going on? I'll have to ask what's going on there. He's gone in the pits. Is he going in the pits? What's going on with him? Why was he? What's going on? They're battling anyway. How's he caught up so fast? What's happened to him? Anyway, maybe he wants to back. I don't know. Amity. As Wesker's gone in the pits. Adamaco's overtaken. Who's now 2.7 seconds behind. Arxox. He's still got a bit of way to go. He's 2.9 seconds behind Adamaco. So he's got a bit of work to do, but he'll hopefully come later in the race for him, as it's now dropping for Adamaco with Amity and Portuguese battling. Either they're battling or they're looking to pull away from each other. But currently, Portuguese Beast is now the championship winner with Amity in second. But I don't think he's going to want any of that. Portuguese, they've both got about half of their ERS left. Portuguese currently in P1, but the time is dropping. 2 seconds now dropped for Adamaco. He can see them as they're entering Magnussen Beckett. He's going to want them to battle. He's going to want them to fight. It will help him. Just don't get any penalties, as he's now 2 seconds behind. He's put his foot down as well. Come on, Adam. We want to see this race win. Amity has pulled away with the ERS, and Wesker gets his penalty, which will come later in the race for him too. AJ's going to want to jump him. He's going to be ribbing him in the chat. He's going to want to get within that 3 seconds, or he's going to be wishing for another penalty. Oxox now 2.4 seconds, closing in on Adamaco. Adamaco now, is he under 2 seconds, closing in on Amity? As Amity is just coming round up to the Wellington Straight after coming round loop. Is he close enough to make an overtake? Neither using the RS. Are they going to be working together to try and pull away? But Adamaco's having none of that. He's now 1.7 seconds away. We've got 8 laps left of this race, and he's eking that time away. Look at him go. Now 1.3 seconds. This guy's supposed to be ill. He's not ill to me. He's not ill to me. He's fit as a fiddle. He's fiddling away. He's ridden that little fiddle. Adam's playing the fiddle. He's now 1.4 seconds. I mean, he's half a second away. Is he going to look to do an overtake, or are they going to look to try and pull away? But it's not working, whatever they're doing. I think maybe Amadi let him pass from a potential earlier collision. Who knows? Oh, AJ be kicking with that penalty. He could have easily... Amadi's right up behind. Right up behind Portuguese. Adamaco's dropping a tenth, but he's still there. He's going to want to just pull an extra couple of tenths. It's his first couple of sectors where he's gaining that time without the DRS zones. Amadi's not going to want to get dirty tyres here from the dirt. He's not going to get to wear those tyres even more in the dirty air. Adamaco dropping now 1.2. Is he going to get under that second? He's not going to get in DRS now as they're pulling away. And Amadi's making a move on the inside round Brooklands. They're just battling wheel to wheel, going around Love Fields. As that Portuguese is just ahead, but Amadi overtaking the outsides, coming around Woodcote, and he's slightly ahead. They're still side by side as Portuguese slots behind. This, he's not going to battle there with the cops. He knows what can happen if you go flying off, but Adamaco is now 0.3 behind Portuguese. It's now a three-way tie, and that has also brought Oxox close to 1.8 seconds. Can we make it a four-way tie for the race lead? Adamaco is going to be licking his lips on the medium tyres, using his DRS. Plenty of ERS in the bank for all, but he's staying behind. He's going to fight another day. Oh, what a battle we got here for the British GP on the final race of the season. All three of these front three all in the contention for a win. Adam does need these two probably to take each other out, but a race win is a race win. Taking a look on the first corner of Abbey, but no, he's going to wait. He's going to wait for that DRS zone. The other two on the hard tyres, on older tyres. Adamaco and Oxox on the medium tyres. A little bit of wiggle there from Portuguese, which might open it up for Adamaco. He's only 2 tenths behind. Is he going to make an overtake? Is he going to make an overtake? He's on the inside, going into Brooklands, and he makes this up to P2. Great overtake from Adamaco. What an overtake. And he's going to be eyeing up Amadi now. He's not going to want to... He's going to want to make me used to these tyres while they've got the wear in them. And get ahead and pull away. But this is bringing Oxox closer and closer. He's now making an overtake on Amadi. Going into Cops. What a fantastic overtake. I've just sad I missed that. Amadi's not going to be happy. He's not. He is not going to be happy. And Oxox is now within DRS zone. He's going to be absolutely licking his lips too. He's going to be purring like a Cheshire cat. Oh my God. Look how close these three are. 6 laps left. And who knows where this is going to go. Adamaco, currently P1 on the British GP. On the medium tyres. Can he pull away now? Who have we lost? Sector 2. That looks like, I think it's Project Ty. I don't want to take our eyes off this one. It was Project Ty that went off, or was it teammate Jax Daniels? Well, I think it's Jax. I think it was Jax. It was Ty. Yeah, it was Jax. With those two teammates together, they probably want to work together to pull himself a bit closer. Oh, please, I don't want a safety car to come out. I want this action to keep going. Adamaco has Amadi close behind. They're all like 4 tenths behind each other, these front four. What a battle we've got going. Oh, who's in sector 1? Is that a Wesker or is it an AJ? They're battling there. One of them must have just had gone off a bit. Wesker's right up behind. AJ, will he look at doing the overtake? They're all smelling blood ahead. They're all smelling blood on these overtakes. He's not quite close. He's not going to dive bomb. He's not going to want to upset his friend in the chat. But look at this. We've got a 4-way tie for the lead. 5 laps left to go. Adamaco's going to pull away. He's still got his ERS. But Amadi is burning it just to trying to keep with him. He's just trying to keep with him and defend at the same time. It's such a hard place to be in P2. Portuguese Beast is retaining all that ERS. So Amadi is in a vulnerable position. He's got the older tyres. He's got the harder tyres. Portuguese Beast has got one eye on him. Oxox has got no ERS, so if he gets past, he's going to have to pull some of that back. He's going to want to hope that one of these gets a penalty. to get that podium position. But what have we got to finish here? I can't. 4 laps to go. There's a dripping by. Dripping like an egg sandwich. Oh, God. Go on, Adam. Pull away. He's now half a second, but the other cars will have the DRS. He still has his ERS. Armady trying to retain some. That's it. Ox, keep trying to retain it. You've got the medium tyres. They will come, hopefully, to you in the end of the race. You've got the fresher tyres out of all 4. What a race. We've potentially got an overtake for Wesker. Let's flick over. I don't think he's close enough. Not even with the DRS. No, AJ managed to stay ahead. We'll flick back to the front 4 here. We've got Adamaco by Amadi. Portuguese Ox right up behind. Is he going to look at doing an overtake on Portuguese Beast? I don't think Portuguese is going to want to do that. He's going to want to stay ahead with all his ERS. But Ox will want to throw a... What's the term? I lost the words. A spanner amongst the pigeons. Is that the saying? What even saying is that? Who throws spanners at pigeons? I would, to be fair. Fucking rats with wings. We've got the 4. Fantastic racing for this. What a watch we've got. I'm mumbling my words. I can't do my words properly. It might be because I've had a long day, or it might just because this is a spectacle of racing. These guys, the ones that have showed up for us today, are putting on a spectacle. I can't believe it. These guys, they're 23 seconds ahead now. These guys are fast. They're fast with each other. This Portuguese is just around there. They're fast. They're faster than a fat kid eating the Snickers bar. But who's going to be the quickest when the finish line comes? Keep it within the lines. You don't want a penalty to ruin your chances. They're all just coming round cups. In Maggots and Beckett's. Oh, I love these corners. These are one of the best corners, of the set of corners on the race calendar. Oh, within. It's the furthest he's ever been, but Amadi is still within. Still got a bit of ERS. They're all biding their time. Adamaka's still in a vulnerable position, but he's got the ERS to battle hard with on that last lap. He's got it all to play for. Portuguese. Oh, he was close as close can be, but I think he's had to take a little bit of a wide berth, which has opened it up for a little bit for Ox. Portuguese Beast. He's been here before. He's building all his ERS up. Amadi won't have that much to battle with, but Adamako does. We want to see a win from Adamako. We've got, including this, 3 laps to go. Katami's getting himself another penalty. I don't know if that'll help him against Sygate. They both got some sets of penalties, but we keep going round. We'll do an order list while these 4 are making their way. Oh my gosh, they're making their way as up the old pit straight round cups. Oh, making their way round as Portuguese goes wide. A potential warning there, who knows? This game does sometimes let you off. You don't want a warning here, Portuguese, or that will be your championship challenge out the window. All getting the DRS again. Amadi, is he close enough to make an overtake? He's not using his DRS yet. He's sticking behind. Adamako had to use a little bit of a squirt. I don't think Amadi would have made the move anyway. But if you slow down, they're always. You can't separate them. I can't see daylight. There's daylight there, but I can't see it. I said still, one by one, going around the start finish straight. We've got 2 laps to go. We'll go through the order, and then we'll come back to these as we'll have a lap and a half. So we've got Ahmed Adamako P1, Amadi P2, Portuguese making a dive on the inside, but keeps the positions. Ox is looking tasty there on the outside, battling hard. But Portuguese Beast tried to make a move and it didn't work, and that has opened it up from Adamako, who's he's got 8 tenths ahead now. What an advantage that was for him. Portuguese Beast making a move. He's managed to stay in P3, but Oxox was looking for that move. Defended well, both by Amadi and Portuguese, but that has opened a gap for Adamaco. So Adamaco, Amadi, Portuguese, Oxox, AJ, Wesker in P6, who's just behind, but can't get close enough. Jack's 18 seconds behind, but Project Ty, his teammate, getting pulled along. Dan Morris in P9, with Bagraki right up in his gearbox, who can jump on penalties. They're going to want to battle. They've been battling before in previous races. We've got Sygate, who's gone off, unfortunately, again in P11, and it's Katamis again, who's in P12. He's not having a good race, but it's always good to have him on the grid. Meow Katamis. As we are coming up to the final corners and the final lap of the race. Who is going to win this race? What a race this is from these front four. This is it now. This is it. The final lap. Adamaco in P1. He's got some ERS to battle with. Amadi has nothing. It's Portuguese. He's looking for that overtake. He's on the inside. Going into turn 3. On the outside of turn 4. Coming round A3 into the Wellington Straight. But that is opening up for Oxox. He's inside of Portuguese, who closes the door. That's opening up for Adamaco to pull away. Portuguese looking to overtake. Portuguese on the outside, but Amadi closes the door on that one too. But that's all bringing Oxox so close. I can't get my words out. Adamaco pulling away. He's going to be absolutely buzzing that those three are battling behind him. But Amadi closing all doors on Portuguese. He's got nothing to battle down on the DRS straight, but he's right up in his gearbox, Portuguese. They're not going to want to hit each other, and Oxox is there too. Will Amadi be taken by two drivers here? As we go down the hanger straight, as we're coming around the last few corners. 3 more corners to go for Adamaco. Perhaps Project Ty takes Jax. Jax is battling there, but Adamaco coming around the last few corners, and Dave called it. I called it. Adamaco coming over the line for P1. Amadi P2 holding on. Portuguese P3. And Oxox, he must have been battling hard and got knocked off for P4 to get over the line. Oxox, I don't know what happened there. It'd be interesting to see on a POV. Coming home on P4, unless AJ can make it round. He makes it home in P4. He trickles over that line. What a finish we had. AJ coming home in P5. And Oxox, I don't know, Oxox disqualified. I think he's left the session before, but he does finish earlier. Wesker coming home in P6. Project Ty will come home. Will he come home in P7? Let's have a look. With penalties. With his teammate in close tow. Jax jumps him. Then we got Dan Morris. Great race from Dan Morris. Joined us, who's jumps Project Ty in the standings. And then we've got Sygate, who comes home with the final car of the race. Great race from Sygate. And it's nice to see him finish as well. I don't know, I can't figure out. I don't know if Dave will be looking at the current standings. We will obviously have any penalties, potential penalties that are added. But what a race. What a final race! I can't wait to go and chat I can't wait to chat in the Discord with the members. And driver of the day is Adamaco, and that's fully deserved. The game knows what it's doing today. What a race, and congratulations to Adamaco with his first win of the season. He'll be absolutely chuffed. I'm chuffed for you, and we're going on to the podiums. Yeah, you raise that flag. Adamaco P1, Amadi on P2 for the Scots, and then Portuguese beast for the Portuguese contingent with their bottles of champagne. But it's not champagne. We don't do champagne in the Discord. They're shaking up that Carlin. They're putting that fizz in their eyes, and it's making them blind. Or that's it. Neck it back, lads. Neck it back. Well deserved. And for our final race of our mini-season 23, and that's our final standards. As we say, Adamaco P1, and with the fastest lap of the race. Congratulations. Amadi in P2, Portuguese Beast in P3. That by the look of it, currently Portuguese has the championship because he has the pole position point too. But let's see if we do have any potential penalties in tow. We've got AJ in P4. I think it was Oxo. He did leave a bit early. Oxo P4, AJ P5, Wesker 6, Jack 7, Big Racky P8, Dan 9, Project High P10, Sygate P11, P10, P11, and Academy's P12. So thank you very much for all joining us. This is Lights Out Lead Racing. That was the British Grand Prix. That was season 23. We'll be back in a couple of weeks for our second mini season, season 24, and the final season of F1 23. Thank you very much, and good night. Peace out.